Star Wars Shatterpoint pre-orders are live, and along with that there's been some very interesting details, including an early release Padawan Ahsoka Tano. Now we'll talk more about that in a moment. So if you go on the Asmodee site, as well as the UK one by the way, you can see now you can search for Shatterpoint and you will start seeing things. The prices are pretty much as we expected, as in the 2 packs here are $50 and the core set is $165. We knew those, but let's have a look at the prices for everything else while we're here. Both the terrain boxes are $75 each. Replacement measuring tools are $15 and extra dice are also $15. Nothing like crazy there. The terrain you could argue is pretty expensive, but it does look like you get a lot of terrain, so it is what it is. What it does give us though is the back of the box in good detail. Now you can't make out everything here, but we can make out the important stuff. So let's read out the contents because that sounds like fun. You're going to get 16 miniatures, 23 terrain pieces, 2 movement tools, 5 range tools, 14 order cards, 12 unit stat cards. It's 12 because what the squad is consisting of is a leader, a second in command, and then 2 times whatever it is. And those 2 models either have the same stat card each or they share the same. We're not 100% sure which way around that will work, but effectively it's 2 of the same models, or in the case of these droids, 2 of the same bases. 12 stance cards, not 100% sure what stance cards are right now. 1 mission card, 9 struggle cards, 14 dice. Now that 14 dice is actually 6 defense dice and 8 attack dice. 1 struggle token, 16 momentum tokens, 1 struggle tracker, 1 punch board, which is basically all the tokens, and 1 core rulebook. So obviously stance cards and stuff like that, they sound super interesting. The mission card, we're going to have to wait till we actually get details, I think, on what that actually is. But let's go through some of the extra images we've seen. And let's talk about this one. So the way this is being framed is that this is an early release, as in Asmodee have tried to clarify, although I think their clarifying is a little bit weak, that this is going to be available for normal purchase in the future if you do not pre-order. I think they're trying to say like, yes, there's probably a little bit of FOMO of having this at release, but don't worry because you will actually be able to get it for standard purchase, but this is an early release with the pre-order. Now it sounds like you won't actually get it if you order it through Asmodee because they are getting it through this program that they have with some stores, not every store, and if your local store is a member of this like hobby night or hobby club or whatever it is, and you pre-order through them, then you'll get the early access Ahsoka Tano Padawan. Now it sounds like she will be different because she's the Padawan version. I'm guessing obviously you won't be able to have both Ahsokas on the battlefield. That doesn't make any sense. So she's probably going to have different rules. Anyway, that's what it is. I'm not sure I like that or not, but let's not talk about that too much here right now. They also have this like full version of this image. She looks pretty interesting. The model looks cool. Yeah, all for it. Just to quickly confirm a closer look at the dice. I'm not sure exactly what this tells us. It definitely looks like we're going to have some sort of like normal hit and crit on the attack dice. This image here could very easily be something like a surge. No idea about these diamonds. I mean, we'll find out when we get the rules right. Same for the defense dice. I don't know what's what. Movement tools, not maybe the most interesting thing in the world, but this actually sort of vaguely intriguing. Range 1 will probably be the width of any of these tools because I'm pretty sure that's what a Marvel Crisis Protocol has. But you can see there's 2, 3, 4 and 5. They're all perfectly normal. Movement tools is only 2, so I don't know, you might want to see that as like small and large. And then there is this tool here, which I mean does raise a couple of questions. Also sort of looks like you could actually stab somebody with that. And if I'm honest, I don't know what this for. The most I'm seeing online is people think that it might be to do with height, but I mean we just don't know. This is a picture of all of the terrain that you get in the core set, and I think somebody here, I've just didn't realize they photoshopped in the rangy tool there just to sort of be like, hey, it's probably going to be used for these ladders or what have you. I've no idea if that's true, but this is the best image I found quickly that shows you all of the terrain in the core set. It does look quite a lot, to be fair. I think most tables will be okay with that on a 3x3. Speaking of terrain, there are the packs as well. So this is the take cover terrain pack. I mean, I think we'd seen all this before. I don't think there's anything revolutionary here, but it just shows you the quantity you're going to get. For me, I think if you're going to get the core set and then one other, I would probably get this because the terrain in this is quite different from the one in the core set. Whereas if we have a look at the other one, it sort of feels like core set plus. You have more walkways, you have more of these sort of building levels, and just sort of looks more of the same. But, you know, you do you. Then we'll move on to the back of the single pack squad. So this is obviously General Kenobi or Obi-Wan Kenobi. What we see here is interesting because we get 3 unit stat cards. So what that is, 1 for the leader, 1 for the second in command, and then 1 for the grunts, basically, is how it's going to work. Now, what the stance cards are, I mean, no, we don't know at this point. Order cards, could that work very similarly to Legion? Maybe, we don't know. And then the Dooku set, I think, is called Twice the Pride. Interesting name. And you can see it's pretty much the exact same thing, right? You're going to get Dooku, going to get Jango Fett, and then you're going to get IG 100 Magna Guards, but there's 2 of them, but they're going to have the same unit card. Now, whether or not it's like one unit card just applies to both, as in they are the same unit in a sense that they activate at the same time, I don't know about that. Or whether it's a little bit like, I think Warcry did this. It's like if you have multiple of them where you just have the one card, but you just sort of track them differently. Like they're 2 independent units, but with one card, just to save on card, basically. We'll find that out another day, I imagine. Interestingly, the UK Asmodee website does have the prices. Everything is literally a dollar to pound conversion, except the core set, which apparently if you pre-order it, you can get it for £15 cheaper than if you don't. Now, I wonder if that's because you're not going to get the early release through them. We don't know. That's just sort of an assumption on my part, a bit of a guess. If I'm honest, I sort of expected an article to give us at least some info about what the game was. I know we're not getting any proper game demos until Adepticon or whatever, but pre-orders before you really know too much about a game, I didn't really like it in video games, and I'm not sure I like it now. Feels a little bit different in wargaming because generally the games are never really stinkers, and if they are stinkers, they'll just be tweaked to be made better. Very rarely have I seen like a high profile game come out and everybody just be like, the rules for these are so bad, we're just not going to touch it ever again. A lot of people are more interested in the models and the lore and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit different from video games, but I'm just in general against pre-ordering without knowing anything about the game. Personally, I'm probably not going to throw my pre-order for a couple of months yet. I actually want to see gameplay. I know you might think that's crazy because you'd be like, Jay, you're running the YouTube channel, you're not just going to buy it no matter what. No, like if I think the game's bad, I'm not going to bother. But hopefully we will not get to that point and we'll think the game's good. So we learned some things. I don't think we necessarily learned all that much, but it's what we've got so far. If there's any more information, I'll be sure to keep you up to date. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.